My name is Rachel Baasch, and I am an artist, a researcher, an academic and a curator, and I'm the lead researcher on the ArtsResearchLab project.
Hi, my name is Walsh-Vorster. I'm the media lead for the ArtsResearchLab project.
And my name is Russell Shangwane. I'm a cultural producer in the context of this project.
My name is Ndita Makhanya. I'm a writing mentee in the ArtsResearchLab project.
My name is Tambuza. I am a media mentee at ArtsResearchLab.
I'm Thobi Shange, and for the ArtsResearchLab project, I am a curatorial mentee.
Hi guys, my name is Mandisa Makhanya, and we're here at the KZN SA. I'm part of the curating team, and I'm a mentee.
Hello, I'm Ilona Karácsony. I'm one of the exhibiting artists in the Inbetween. I'm from the University of Bremen.
The ArtsResearchLab is an experimental project where we are aiming to try and build capacity in response to contextual challenges that we are facing within the arts sector more broadly in South Africa, but I think quite specifically in KZN.
Durban is being a big city, but not necessarily being as big as the other cities in South Africa, in the context of South Africa. It's kind of in this weird space where it's kind of ignored or overlooked. And that, especially in the art scene, can have benefits in the context that it's not necessarily bound by like as many institutions or rules.
What I've seen and what I've had the privilege and benefits of being based in Durban as a practitioner is being allowed the time to incubate ideas, is an environment where I engage with questions that are not prevalent in, say, other cities such as Johannesburg or Cape Town. And I think what comes out of that is something that's really, really unique to Durban.
10 years in Berlin before I moved to Bremen. And what I find is that in a big city, it's harder to have a quietude. It's harder to be really calm and close out the noise in every possible sense of the word.
I quite like to think about it as being off-center. So it's not quite peripheral, it shouldn't be relegated to the margins, but there's something that's quite interesting that happens when you start to think about a place as being just off-center, as being in between something and another thing.
I often say that Durban is also just like a collection of buildings, you know, that are given expression and identity through the experiences and the memories that people hold of those buildings.
I mean, in the context of this project where we have people who wouldn't typically work in a place like Durban, particularly with the HFK students, for them, their understanding of a place would be more on the tangible, architectural, physical elements of a place, as opposed to, say, someone who is from here and understands here, and their definitions would be more based on the people who inhabit the place.
That okay, what arises to be in a completely new geographical space. It gives me sort of a bird's eye view on the society that shaped me.
This exhibition is called the Inbetween, and the idea behind the exhibition was to move away from exhibitions where a curator develops a theme and they prescribe the theme to the artists. You know, so either a curator will look at a collection of work and say, I'm going to put this collection of work together and I'm going to frame it under this theme, or they would send out a call for artists to submit work to suit a particular theme. And what we did with this process was we kind of started in the reverse, where we started with the practice-based researchers, we started with the artists, you know, workshopping through critique sessions and studio visits, and the theme itself emerged in response to that.
What is the productive potential of Durban when it's viewed and processed through the lens of a guest? So in this case, we've had a group of artists from Germany, from Bremen to be particular, who've been in Durban for about 6 months. And they've developed a rapport, they've developed a relationship, but something in them has also shifted by being in Durban. And I think it's been really interesting to see how Durban-based artists have started to see differently the city of Durban. And I think the more of this that we can have, the more guests that we can host, something happens to the local fabric of artistic practice.
Before I came here, I never worked with steel, I never worked with ceramics. That's my first time making paper sculpture. So before I came here, I was sort of thinking that I will build on my knowledge, which is in textile and costume design. So I will probably make like human-shaped figures out of textiles. And then our program was organized in a way that when I got here, the holidays started. So given the generosity of the workshop leaders and lecturers, I got access to totally unexpected resources, which was lovely. I mean, it was super amazing.
We are currently getting ready for our exhibition opening tomorrow on Friday. We've been working with several artists from Durban, DUT, as well as the Bremen University. So yeah, we're currently just curating, putting the media out, trying to figure out what artwork goes where.
Curating, it's not as easy as people might think, because having to envision something and actually being in the space with the different artworks, it kind of plays out differently than you actually envisioned it. So that's what I'm learning, to be in the space, take it all in, the artworks and the space, and make it work together, make it communicate together as well.
The role in which I played was assisting with putting together the space so that it has a conversation, so that it flows organically, and also just with assisting the artists actually put together their work, make sure that their work looks the way that they imagined it to look, and also help with the process room so that it flows and has a conversation on its own.
I was working with artists for the exhibition. I was documenting their processing while they were creating their artworks. I was there filming all the time, and part of my work is gonna be about them and what they've been doing and setting up the space, the gallery.
The way I'd like to see this project go is to kind of replicate itself in the form of volume, you know? So the more of this we're able to have, they needn't to be big, but I think the more we can have would be really good, because it means that this kind of energy can spread. It can be shared across a greater community of artists of Durban. And I spoke about this productive friction that happens when people from outside of Durban arrive in your city and ask questions about a place that you've grown up in, that you've never considered to ask. And I think the more questions of that nature that can be brought forward, the greater the friction and the resistance, and as a result, more narratives about Durban can start to surface, produced and engaged with by artists in Durban.
I want to see us secure further funding and sponsorship to continue working on this project. But I think for me, from a personal perspective, it's also capacity development. You know, for me, knowledge production, knowledge creation, ensuring that people feel capacitated has a lot to do with confidence. So I'd like to see, you know, our young writers, our curators, our mentees going on to run projects of their own, you know, to be able to operate without necessarily having one or two people that are, you know, managing, you know, every single iteration of the project, as well as to expand in terms of its network, you know, so to be able to facilitate artist residencies, exchange programs, to continually be able to showcase exciting, new, interesting exhibitions, and also to bring research into the public space and potentially expand to, you know, other NGOs and other kinds of social concerns. So not just restricting ourselves to, say, for example, fine arts, but saying, okay, how do we use arts-based research to address other kinds of social problems?